Hi, Gemini. Welcome to your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watcher reading for this week. Yep. I didn't say that. Maybe that's why the thumbnail looks so funny because it universe knew I would put my foot in my mouth. Typical Sagittarius kind of interaction because we tend to do that even when we really try hard not to. So thank you guys for all your subscribes, like, shares, comments, donations. Feel free to donate below to help this channel grow. It's all part of like me getting here. Oh boy, everything's on fire. This is gonna be a funny one. What's you guys going through, Gemini? I know that Sunday's reading was actually quite nice for you guys. I don't know what has happened since then. It was a bit interesting. You guys have gods on your side, kind of thing. You guys have always been the ones that stick out to me for some reason. You guys have had some crazy, like, incredible, different readings over there, and it's always like flipping and changing. I guess that's fitting because the twins, right? So I have. I want to thank. Yeah, like I'm going to be doing some free personal readings kind of thing live. That's what I'll be doing to, say thanks to you guys for being here. We'll be doing them every so often. I'm thinking Friday, maybe this week. So if you want to get in on that and you want a free personal reading, hit that subscribe button and a notification bell next to it. And I will be happy to see you there and get your question ready kind of thing, right? All you got to do is let me know in the comments when it actually happens that you want a reading because I have to have your permission because I don't dig into anybody's things unless I have permission and I'm doing those readings. It's the only way I do personal readings. So what do we have this week for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers? What is going to come out of here? I'm figuring it's going to be something a little bit silly or a little bit like disruptive somehow. This whole thing and started out with me putting my foot in my mouth and feeling really awkward and embarrassed. Universe. What do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers? What do we need to surrender this week? What could we possibly be having trouble with and letting go for us to move to our highest energy? Universe, what do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers? Cards want to flip out, but they're not quite coming out there. Universe. So maybe Gemini, you don't want to surrender. You guys are fighters, you like to not back down kind of thing. You defend yourself and take care of yourself. Universe, what do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers? So this is something that where it came out in reverse, this could be possibly like a little harder for you, whatever you're going through to like let go right now than normally. It says you surrender your fear of intimacy. You are ready to let love in, compassionately identify and begin to release any patterns that stop you from opening your heart. So maybe in the past you were burned a couple times and stuff like that and things got to you and it's very hard for you to actually know whether this new situation, whether it's a career or anything else or a relationship is something that is good for you or if something might be triggering something inside you from the past kind of thing like a memory. So let's see what the tarot has to say for you today. Universe, what do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers? Universe, what do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers today? I like to do 3, although the 2 of Cups, right? That's another relationship card, and it was in reverse. Just the little glimpse that I seen. I don't take them before I get the shuffles done, but yeah, so there might be something, maybe you got burned pretty good in the past kind of thing, either some kind of relationship value, whether it was like a boss, coworker, or like an actual relationship. So let's see what we're getting into today with Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers. Universe, what messages do we have for Gemini today? Judgment. So maybe like, right, this is in reverse, the Judgment. So you might be weighing on your judgment and you might not be sure. You may be balancing back and forth. You don't know if it's from the past or from this current thing that's going on or something that's coming into your life or someone or something that will be coming into your life. You may be held up on the judgment call. You may not be sure how to call that kind of thing. You won't be happy in a judgment that you've already made in the past because it's upside down, right? So maybe your judgment's like a little out of balance right now and you're not sure what to do. So you're kind of frozen. If it is an intimate thing, then you might be holding on to something from the past. But honestly, unless we put ourselves out there, we'll never know. And the possibility of if you say no and you don't go through with it, what if it is that person? Maybe like sometimes we have to go through these relationships, these careers, these new things and possibilities to find out if it's actually for us or not. And if we don't, then we could sit in regret forever, like knowing that we didn't even try. And when you don't try, you don't know the answer. So you're kind of left in the dark. But if you do try and it ends up being a rejection, but at least you knew you tried, right? At least you knew you tried. And if it's at the end of a situation right now, you may not be sure what to say and you might not know what your judgment call, but communication will help with that kind of thing. Like when you talk it out but at least by the end of it, right? The Hierophant, at least by the end of it, when you actually do these things and you actually talk them out, at least you know you tried. Now, when you're coming from a heart space, you can't come down on yourself for saying you were too harsh or anything else. So beware and be careful when you're coming out to talk about this or figure that out, that when you're talking to a person, you come from your heart space. Because if you're coming from a place of hurt and pain, it'll come out hurtful and painful and it will drive that person away for sure. And then you'll be doubting yourself again. You'll be worried about your judgment call, or maybe that's something that's already happened in the past. But if you come from your heart space and a place of love and actually caring for another person, then if those people reject you and if they turn from you, even though you tried your best and you did it out of a place of love, talking calmly and peacefully in a loving way, then if they reject you in that circumstance, then you know that you tried your best and you should be proud of yourself for that because you did everything that you could to make it go in a good place. And if it doesn't, then you know at least that that person or that career or that opportunity was not for you. And you can go to the Hierophant space where, you know, look at her. She's at peace. She's in Zen. She's totally comfortable with herself. Also, you may want to take some time to meditate because this is meditation and she's sharing meditation with others. Maybe like you need to come to a balance before you come to this possibility, right? So I only check my watch because it's telling me I'm live. So, right. Whatever is around you, make sure you balance your energy before you go forward with whatever this is in this judgment call. And make sure that you feel in a good space, right? Because you have a lot of choices here. You may be able to talk about this in many different ways and many different takes. And my camera froze again. So the communication might be stalled right now. You might not be able to see everything. Like right now, I cannot see you guys. So I'm going to reset the camera so that I can make sure I can. So I'm taking time right now to come back to a space where I have to stop, reset everything, and go into it again, this program again, because to make it clearer so that I can see and you can see, and then we can both see each other, right? It was like in a space, everything was frozen, time was frozen. Like this has been happening with my phone lately. So there might be energies around you and in the stars right now. There's a lot going on, a lot of shifts happening that we're not seeing clearly on everything. So things are getting in our way and things are blocking us. So make sure you take the time to check in with that because there's so many possibilities, so many outside forces that could cause you to choose in different directions, right? This is being like unclear for you right now. Okay, I'm trying to get back to this again. A lot of technical difficulties. There might be some communication errors, and my camera froze again. So maybe there's something you don't want to see, or like someone's trying to hide from you, like you can't see what's going on. This has happened twice, so I'm trying again to be clear. And instead of getting frustrated, I'm just gonna take my time, fix the solution, come back to it, see where it all goes, right? Let's see if this can work. So let's go, right? My words aren't even matching up with my mouth right now. So I can see that it's not working. Let's see. if I can get this to work. So we're back. So you might have to take like 2 or 3 tries at this kind of thing. There might be a little bit of going back and forth in between this relationship, the career. There might be a little communication stalls, right? All these choices, all these possibilities are out there. And there may be like different energies coming in to make this a little more complicated. And it may stop you from being able to make a decision right away. But if you let too much time pass, then you will be frozen there and you won't be have those choices no more. So make sure you weigh out your choices as they come and see where they go. And think about the possibilities. Make sure you're like she's looking at it in awe, but the biggest one popping out there in front of her hand is the heart. So make sure you have a good grasp on your heart space and what is going on with you. And this is not something from the past versus something right now, right? Like heart space, your fear of intimacy. Like she's might be picking everything else but the heart, and she might be holding on to the heart, stop the heart. All right, so we got a lot of outside opinions again that might be stirring the pot and causing the spell to like not work out, bubbling over. One's got their hand making the magic and the rest are discussing and they're arguing back and forth. There might be a little bit of miscommunication. There's no swords here. So there might be a lack of communication, or you might be holding on to something. Somebody might be hiding something from you. They may not be telling you the whole thing. The Ace of Wands, the passion is held up right now. Like maybe they're withdrawn. Maybe you guys aren't talking. Maybe you have your backs turned on each other a bit. The Ace of Wands and the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So maybe you made a decision in the past already that's kind of left you up in the air, upside down. Like the Two of Pentacles is your abundance coming in, but holding on to a decision and confusion and infinite possibilities here as well, as this means infinity to me. So infinite possibilities for abundance. And you may have like a whole lot of ideas going to your head and you don't know which way to go. Right? Like she's in awe of what this new creative passion is, whatever it is. Art, there's art there, there's music there, there's nature there, there's writing, drawing. But she's kind of looking up into the air and there's so many, like there's still so many options and it's keeping you at a standstill. It's totally holding back your abundance because all these different ideas, all these different opinions that aren't yours necessarily, all these options coming in, and it's got you set in. Like maybe you're asking your friends, is this a good idea for me to go with this person or go with this new career or go with this new passion? But you have to take the time for yourself and look into yourself and find out in your heart, right? She's grasping at, she's, your fear of intimacy. So maybe you're not, checking in with yourself. You're not loving yourself. And you're not like checking deep within you to find out what you really need and what you really want and not like what everybody else wants. Because honestly, in the end, it's you that matters. We are not responsible for anybody else and they are not responsible for us unless it's like a child or a dog or a pet kind of thing, right? Because if we're, taking responsibility for them, we have to take care of them. So if it's another adult, you are not responsible for their happiness and they are not responsible for yours. Now, when you are happy in your own space and your loving space and you love yourself, then anything that another person can bring to you can bring you more happiness. If they're trying to take away from you and cause you more pain, then it's time to reassess that situation as well. There aren't any swords in this whole equation. So this whole spread. So you might want to check in with yourself to communicate with yourself and find out what it is that's stirring the pot inside of you. Maybe you've got like all these different battles and all these opinions inside your own head. It's like, oh, but I can't do that. Oh, but they did this. Oh, what the fighting, 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 even in your own head, even in your own body. It might be causing you like internal issues, pain. Maybe some yoga and meditation will help relax your system, untense your muscles, maybe a massage, because the end card is the 10 of Cups. So it's full on family, full on celebration, beautiful picnic. The animals are there happy. You got a couple children, a newborn baby. Like it could be a new baby, a new job, a new career, something you dreamed up. But it's all possible and it's all can happen and you can come to completion and have everything you ever wanted. But this balance, this going inside and finding yourself and getting information that you can will help you get here. And Geminis, you guys are the twins. You kind of battle yourselves all the time. You battle your two sides, you know? Sometimes I find I've got a Gemini midhaven, and sometimes that causes me to be really happy or really sad. And there's not always an in between, but I had to work really hard to find that balance in between, and checking out the rest of my birth signs helped that. Like, I got 2 links below. One's for an app for Astromatrix app, which will like help you get your birth chart, and it'll tell you everything about yourself inside, kind of thing. All your planets lining up. You could possibly have something else inside you battling, and you could find out your other signs. There could be other readings here by me you could check into, or you can check into other tarot readers as well. But that knowing your birth chart and all your signs and all the combinations of it, those are your internal battles. Sometimes one sign will fight with another sign because of the alignment in the planets the day you were born. And those internal battles are in you, and you don't even know them. When I first found my birth chart and I started reading this through the Astromatrix app, like I did it a long time ago, and I found a lot of things, so I accepted myself a little easier, and I wasn't so hard on myself as I was before, thinking, what's wrong with me, right? Honestly, we do have issues that we battle, but when we know about them by finding out things and digging deeper into ourselves, like with the birth charts, or even MBTI, if that's something you're into, the 16 personality test. Maybe I'll add a link to that for next week. But when you dig inside and you find yourself a little bit better, you can love yourself a little bit more. And then you can celebrate yourself in a place where you can be happy with it. And also the app tells you what energies are battling each other and fighting against each other. And they'll give you like possible solutions, ways that you can deal with it, ways that you can help yourself, ways that you can overcome these things that are causing you a lot of trouble. So if this is an internal battle and you're fighting yourself and you're having a hard time, you might want to check into that birth chart. Otherwise, you might need to communicate something. So let's see what the final messages are for this. So, because the last one that I just did, same thing. It had no communication cards. So if you're in a relationship or you're dealing with a Pisces, you might want to check the Pisces reading, because you both had no swords cards. Like, the only reason why I remember this is because it was right before this one. And I can't remember all the cards, but they might have had the wands, the Ace of Wands, or that might have been 2 ago. I remember what cards, but I don't remember exactly what reading. But I know that the Pisces reading never had any swords as well. So universe, what do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, for a final message from the Witch's Wisdom Oracle cards? Universe, what do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers? What do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers? Universe, what do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers? And knowing about more and more about yourself, and like being able to accept some of these difficulties we go through and knowing how to like overcome them. Well, there's it helped me more than anything else I think I've ever done. So if that's something you're interested in, and you probably are, because if you're here watching this reading, you're into tarot and spiritual things and birth charts, because you're into your sign. And we may not always, that's like 18 cards, moon cycles. So maybe something can come forward for you about a full moon, feelings and emotions and fears, something like that. But yeah, once we find out more about ourselves, we can accept ourselves and love ourselves a bit more. It helped me so much, because I was battling myself, especially in my younger years. Universe, what do we have for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Cross Watchers? Earth grounding, right? That makes a lot of sense. So connecting with nature, there's a murder of crows here too. Crows are very intuitive, very smart. They like learn really fast. They can see above, like they're rising above. And when they get together, they're usually because something's going on that they need to accomplish. But grounding means like getting out in nature or balancing your chakras, going internal to get things healed up. Like some of these old energies, some of these old problems, that might have caused your fear of intimacy. Dig deep into your past, into your history, into your family growth. This birth chart will, I believe, will help you a lot. It will help ground you and find yourself and like get to your roots and maybe slow down some of these battles that you're dealing with. Connecting to nature and grounding, because right now you might be all up in your head. That's another thing. There's no swords cards here. Swords is like a communication, a mind thing, intuition, um, epiphanies, different things like in the mind stuff. It has to do with the mind and thoughts. So you might be in your headspace too much, and get some grounding to balance that out so that you can feel, balanced and at peace. So we got Earth, E, F, Earth, grounding, right? You're in a field there. Sow your wild oats. A shaky, wait, plant some seeds of something to grow. Earth, grounding. A shaky witch just will not do. Strength is required to start anew. The element to call is earth. Connect, restore, and then rebirth. The magic is worked no with harm to none, so mote it be, there it is done. Are the foundations you stand upon strong enough to support you? You have been on rather shaky ground lately, and your confidence has been knocked. Your head has been in the clouds, and your spell work and wishes do not seem to be coming to fruition. It is the element of earth that must be called upon right now, for it offers you the nurture and support you need at this time. The earth is solid, firm, and will give the grounding required to bring about the results you desire. The earth is fertile and stable and associated with the goddess of birth, life, death, and rebirth. Give yourself some time to go out into nature and allow the earth to restore you. Draw upon her gifts that are steeped in magic and mystery as you rest and recharge under her protection. Soon you shall have all the endurance and strength that you require in order to move forward. Connection with the element of earth was required to bring substance to your spell work. Spend time outside, barefooted and getting your hands dirty. Take up gardening. Hug or sit beneath a favorite tree. A project requires solid groundwork. The pentacle represents the earth element. This element forms the blood and bones of our physical bodies, and so form the earth we come and will one day return. When we connect with the element of earth, we manifest growth in physical matter, fertility, grounding, and stability. Security, shelter, and food are gifted from the earth, which is our foundation, our mother, right? Like it said, too many things stir in the pot. What was the exact words, actually? Da, 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 da. Of love that will heal me. There's a song playing. I release control. I surrender to the flow of love that will heal me. Right? Even the music is like coming out to you. Let the control go. Go like into earth. Let go and like go out there. Absorb the sunshine. Just open up your arms to the world and accept all the love that and healing that nature has for you. If you see a tree or something that you're totally attracted to, or you have your feet in the grass, just feel the energy from the earth to ground you and bring your heart back and bring your space back and just feel the love. Just thinking about it, just going out there and seeing a tree that is right beautiful. This is something that I practice when I'm out there. When I go out in nature, which I don't get to do a whole lot, I try to do it as much as possible. But when I see a tree and it looks like majestic and beautiful, as I'm walking towards it slowly, I'm taking in all of its beauty, like in its awe, and just like, and when I get really close to it, I just feel the energy at a certain point, and I can feel that it's growing, and I can see it swaying in the wind, just taking it all in, the beauty of nature. And when I get to it, you can, as you get closer and closer, and you ask if you can touch it, because we are all energetic beings. And then when I give it a hug and I lean against it, and it gives us oxygen. It helps give us life. It's all a circle. So use those energies, use those powers, use that beauty to heal yourself as well. And maybe music is your way, maybe something else, but find that thing that makes you feel like that. and you will have everything you want in life. You will have all these beautiful things, and maybe you will have your own garden. So it's a beautiful thing. Don't let other people stir the pot. Make sure you're checking in. And if they do give you advice and you need it and you value it, then you can use that advice as well. So that's all I have for you today, Gemini, for this week. I thank you all for watching, subscribing, liking, sharing, donating, commenting. I really love your comments and feedback. Hi, Mom. RB. Hi, RB. So I want to thank you all for all your valuable time, and I hope that this resonated with you. If not, check your birth chart and then check in with your other signs as well, or other readers. So many out here. I will be giving back and saying thank you for just being here and being part of the fam jam by doing those free readings. So smash the subscribe button and the notification bell next to it so that you can get notified when it happens. I'm thinking Friday, maybe sometime this weekend. I'm going to try my best to get here, but life kind of can tie you up sometimes. So guys, if that has something that happens with you frequently, be okay with it. Sometimes life happens and you have to release control and have faith that things will turn out. Like, you got this. Okay? So I want to leave you with peace, love, happiness, and namaste. Mwah. Have a great day. And surrender.